Hi, let's chat. You want to? I want to. So I'm headed out the door to go join the YMCA. It's not really 12:50. That's wrong. Because they cut off all our power yesterday and I've not fixed that. I'm going to join the YMCA. I thought about making this video while I was walking on the treadmill, but you know what? I won't do that because I don't want to be that girl that joins and then immediately starts vlogging. I'll be that girl next time I go. So here's my update. This is my update on my 40-day fast. I go into much detail about this, what I'm fasting off of and why and how in my 40-day fast video, but I said I would update every once in a while. And so this is not a review. This is not a review. This is just where I currently am. So I want to make sure that I don't word this like, well, let me summarize it. I can't. I'm on day 9, which is getting really close to 25%, which is really amazing to me because here's the update so far. So my weight's headed in the right direction. Yay, I'm so excited. Our bowl goal, we are 0.10. We are 1.6 ounces. We are 10% of 1 pound away from reaching our bowl goal. I have a video called the bowl goal. My husband and one of my sons and I are aiming to get 10 pounds off between the 3 of us. And that's how much we've lost so far. And I get to color in that bowling pin as of this morning. So we only need that much left. And you know what? Like I said, it is totally positive because we have a lot on us. We are a farming family and we're involved in sports, and the kid that is doing this with us is trying out for baseball and he's there till 5:30. And my husband said yesterday, these boys, we got 2 teenage boys. He said, these boys need to get home so they can get some work done around here. I said, Greg, welcome to baseball season. He doesn't get out of baseball till 5:30 and it's dark out. Anyways, it's all positive. But that 0.10 of a pound, Greg, if you're listening, I know you're not. Greg, come on. I'm teasing. Greg's never even listened to my testimony. And I said once, I said, Greg, you haven't heard my testimony. He said, I live your testimony. He and I are one. So he's off the hook. He doesn't have to watch these videos. But Greg should really come up with that final 0.10 because Greg is heavier now than he was when we started, but there's no penalizing. If he can just get off a little 0.10, yes, it's a net gain, but we are going to go bowl. We are bowling. It's just all positive. I don't want to punish any of us for gaining weight or feeling bad because gaining weight makes us feel bad. That's punishment enough. So this whole bowl goal is just for fun. And a bunch of people, especially a bunch of people that have just gained weight, I think going bowling would be a good activity for them. Us. I don't think we've all gained weight though. I think that my son has lost a bit, which I tell him, if you are maintaining your weight week by week, you're losing because you're growing taller. I'm not. Your dad's not. We're not growing taller. So if your weight is staying the same, then that's truly, he's got things headed in the right direction, even if things are staying the same, because he's growing up and he's building muscle. Anyways, we've got things, we're good. We have things headed by the grace of God. God is good. And he is always Romans 8:28ing. I've been talking to a lot of people lately about Romans 8:28 and how God is truly working all things out for those called according to his purpose. Franklin last night was very upset that I did not let him go to this church, this Wednesday night church event that he goes to most Wednesdays, and he cried, and I asked him to forgive me, and I told him I expect you to forgive me because I had told him that he was going to get to go, and then he just didn't. And if Greg and I aren't careful, we will run and run and run and run and run and run. Every once in a while we have to stop. So Franklin stayed home, and instead I put the girls to bed early. Greg and I were laughing. It's dark out. They don't know what time it is. Don't tell Clara and Mary, but they went to bed an hour early last night. They have no idea. They had no idea it was 7:30 and not 8:30. But I put them to bed thinking, oh, I've got this extra hour to go watch TV. And I didn't leave the kitchen because Franklin was in there and he started looking at a cookbook that my mom had gave him, and he picked a recipe. And then Franklin had a blast cooking I made a whole video to show Nana and Grandma, and with Franklin's permission, I'll show you all. I'll show you the lovely time that I got to spend with Franklin, because I was determined to get the girls to bed early because I had that ear infection that's so much better today. Yay. Amazing what some antibiotics can do. And I put them to bed early, and he didn't go to church, so he and I were in the kitchen, and it was such a blessing, to the point where that kid said, you know, I'm glad I didn't go to church. It was awesome. It was really a lovely moment. So Romans 8:28. God's working things out. He's working all things out. And even when things take a sharp turn in one direction that we don't want to go in, we can trust that. That's a big deal. Romans 8:28. That's a big deal. So I trust that things are really headed in the right direction around here, regardless of what the scale is saying, because sometimes you just have to get some stuff figured out before things get rolling. It's just like building momentum is a big deal. And I'm sort of imagining a freight train. Before a freight train can really get rolling, there's a lot that has to happen. A lot of prep, a lot of mechanical work. And at times the train needs some work. So they're really rolling around here, but they have been for decades. I'm 9 days in. In those 9 days, I have, by the grace of God, as of this morning, gotten my weight headed in the right direction. So I'm focused much more on portions now. Now that I've cut so many things out, I am much more concerned with how much of everything I'm eating. And in order to determine that, I pray my way through it. Amy, if you're listening, will you send me the name of that psychiatrist or that psychologist that you said that you were aware of that prayed before every bite? I'm very much inspired by that. And I've been asking God, all right, Lord, how much do you want me to have? How much fuel do I need? And I only want to ingest gifts that have been given to me. Greg and I, like I said, I think recently in one of these videos, that Greg and I read Colossians chapter 3, and where Paul talks about things that we need to die in our lives, the sexual sins of sexual immorality and lust, and then he goes on to list greed, and he calls greed idolatry. I don't want to be greedy with regards to food and set food up as an idol. So I want to ingest and enjoy the gifts that God has for me, and no more, but no less either. I want to be well and properly fueled for the work he has for me. And I believe he would have me properly fuel myself. So that's one thing I'm currently working on. But in 9 days, things are headed in the right direction. In 9 days, I have learned about the importance of zinc, and I'm so excited. And I have ordered myself Zinc Picolinate that also has vitamin C in it, which is awesome. I have been taking the last couple days this combination of zinc and vitamin C. And my dear Susan Miller told me about Picolinate, and then my dear Sonia told me about how much she loves zinc. And up underneath one of these videos, I think it was the video called We Have Hope, and she said that her doctor got her on zinc, and it helps with so many things, like our immune system and balancing our hormones. And I read that zinc helps our bodies rid themselves of toxins, so it helps with acne, and one of my kids might benefit from that. So to find it in the Picolinate, thank you, Susan, and thank you, Sonia, also affirmed that for me. And then to find it with the vitamin C is exciting. In 9 days, I have learned about casomorphin. Thank you, Sonia. This is a different Sonia. Both of my Sonias, y'all been there for me this week. My two Sonias. So my other Sonia, her YouTube name is something Sonier. I don't know. I'm assuming that's Sonia in another language. She's the one, Sonia, you're the one that taught me about casomorphin. Also, in these 9 days, I am headed out the door now to rejoin the YMCA. I'm so excited. And the kids, I've been picking them up from school. Did you join? Did you join? Clara said yesterday, I'm not playing baseball. I'm going to the YMCA. I said, well, girl, I don't know who's going to take you there 3 times a week. I said, you might want to still play baseball at the park. when everybody's playing, because we'll go to the YMCA, but I don't know exactly when, but I'm glad to join. So I'm just super excited that after more than 2 years into this particular journey, I feel ready to work out again. I love working out. I have hired personal trainers. I played soccer in high school. I actually won MVP of my soccer team. Our senior year, they handed out plaques, and I got MVP. And if anyone was on my team right now, they'd be laughing because they know that the plaque read, most valuable personality. It was hilarious. I was not the best player. In fact, I was somewhat of a support from the bench. I had on a soccer uniform, but I was a little bit like a cheerleader. I don't know. They let me stick around. I'm glad they did. It was good exercise for me, but I'm not very competitive with sports. So anyways, but I do like to play and I love to sweat. Summer is my season. Give me 90-degree weather and a bunch of sunshine and I will mow my heart out. Alina, you with me? Alina, come help me mow this farm. And let's don't use big tractors. Let's use little mowers. And we can just put earplugs in and smile and wave to each other. So in 9 days, that's part of my update. My weight's headed in the right direction. I am more familiar with the zinc. I am familiar with casomorphin, and I'm joining the YMCA. Also, in these 9 days, I have thought, here's a couple little notes here, and I'll be done. I have thought that this is a really fascinating journey to be on. Out of the grips of diseases and into health. I almost said out of disease. I have a couple diseases in this human body that I don't expect to go away. I'm more than happy and grateful and honored and willing to manage them. Since the fall of humanity, human beings have dealt with diseased bodies. When I get to heaven, I don't want to say, Lord, I was suffering, I was ill, why didn't you help me? And hear him say, you were supposed to use your brain. So I'm grateful for the brain that he's given me and the resources that he's given me and the friends that he's given me to manage and take care of my health in every way that I can, in every way that the Holy Spirit's leading me to, from the eardrops and the antibiotics and the zinc and the vitamin C to a host of other things that I do to maintain my health, including exercise. So I'm excited about that. But here's what I've been thinking. There's a phrase in the world of recovery that says the path of addiction gets narrower and narrower. I make that pretty clear in my video called I Quit. It fascinates me and kind of cracks me up to think I started by quitting diet soda. And then eventually that led to me quitting. Well, that didn't lead to it, but eventually I quit sugar and alcohol, which meant I quit sodas. And then so many other things. So the path out of addiction keeps getting narrower and narrower. That's like regularly, you have to like really enunciate narrower or rural. I would hate to live in a rural area and the road was getting narrower that I took regularly. I don't like that sense. But while the path out of addiction continues to get narrower and narrower, the path into health continues to get more broader and broader. So it's like this whole new world opening up. And you all are with me on this. And I just love it. I told Sonia P that it cracks me up that on this YouTube channel, we can help each other with really, really random things. And say, hey, have you tried this? Have you noticed that? And it is real. These are real connections that I'm really grateful for. So path out of addiction gets narrower, but the path into health gets more broad. And I'm excited. I feel like this, in a lot of ways, is just the beginning. I am on a YouTube fast, but because I put YouTube videos out there, I see lots of YouTube videos, scroll through, and I click watch later, watch later. I told Greg after this 40-day fast, I'm just going to go stay in a hotel room and watch all these videos that I've saved for myself. But one is this woman that's 59 or 60 years old that is an absolute body builder. And she just got back into building muscle a couple years ago, and she looks amazing. And she looks 60. She is like so real and inspiring, and I'm inspired. They showed her in a close-up of her hand, and I've got some hardworking 41-year-old hands, and she had some hardworking 60-year-old hands, and I thought, thank you, count me in. Building muscle, being strong, physically able to get a lot of work done. I'm in. Okay, let's see here. Yes, Sonia, you were saying it's mind-boggling. It is so mind-boggling how much there is to learn about this body, Sonia P. And it's also fun. It's really fun. Let's see. So day 9, I wrote here, it's going extremely well. It's been very easy. In fact, it's been a relief. When I started dating my husband, he was involved in a couple things that he just, teenage boys, whether it was, I'm not going to go into the details, but along came Emily, and I was like, I don't want you doing this or that, and he was like, done. He had been wanting a reason to quit a couple things, and he's such a smart guy that it was a relief to him because it just got in his way of his goals anyways. And that's how I feel on this 40-day fast. I feel relieved. I got myself tangled up with chips and popcorn and dried fruit, and it was a relief to say, ooh, I've had enough. And the other thing is, I don't want to be more excited about any form of calories than I am about my kids. Meaning, when I look forward to Saturday, I want to look forward to time with my family, not time consuming cheese dip. That's really what this comes down to. I just refuse to be more excited about something I'm going to chew and swallow than about the people in my life. So if I am putting something that I chew and swallow above, not necessarily above them, I still hang out with them, but if I find myself just looking more forward to that than cheering one of my kids on at a basketball game, that's really a red flag for me. So this has been a relief. Let's see here. Okay, I've had 2 moments. I've had 2 sort of difficult moments. The Dairy Queen moment, where I pulled into the Dairy Queen parking lot. I made a video about this. I went to Dairy Queen. I had convinced myself, because our addictions are manipulative and sophisticated, and they want what they want. This is a battle of flesh and spirit. Our flesh wants what it wants. So when my flesh had decided that it wanted Dairy Queen, because I really was feeling so bad, and I was hungry, but I wasn't hungry for some oatmeal, and I love me some oatmeal. I'd rather point with my pointer finger than my thumb. I wasn't wanting oatmeal. I was wanting fast food and whatever they put in that lights our brains up. And it's probably more than we can imagine. Preservatives and stuff. I don't know, stuff that's addictive. It's stuff. And I pulled in there, and I had already in my mind worked it out. Eggs are fine, bacon's fine, and a hash brown or 2. I won't eat the biscuits. I can't justify that, but the hash brown, it's fried, but it doesn't have batter. Now, the whole thought process, right? It doesn't have breading, so that's not flour, so it's just fried in oil, so it's just potatoes fried in oil, and the oil's probably not hydrogenated. I don't know, maybe it is. I really wasn't going to split the hair. I was going to eat the daggone food. I'm glad I didn't, because what I'm fasting off of, one thing for sure that I didn't even realize until after the fact, I'm fasting off of turning to restaurants to cope. And that's what that would have been. That would have been me coping with stress, hunger, and an ear infection. And the doctor did not order Dairy Queen. So I'm so glad that did not happen. The other thing, last night when Franklin was making all his popcorn, here it is. This is Tackle 'em Taco popcorn. So cute, so fun. And there's nothing in there that would be really any kind of major problem for me because it's hot air popcorn as far as all the ingredients go. But there's something about that popcorn. There's not something about it. There's volume about it, chewing and swallowing about it. And that's why I'm taking a break from it. I purchased all of this. Franklin was supposed to put this away and I told him to wrap the cord and put it in there nicely. Franklin, he and I have a different definition of nicely. Imagine that. Imagine a 9-year-old boy with different standards than a 41-year-old woman. So here's my little, and I was really proud of this. And I thought, oh, how cute and how fun, and got my little hot air popcorn. Well, you know what? That's the whole B part of the things I'm addicted to. The binging. And when I make myself popcorn and I put it in a bowl the size of a small swimming pool, and I sit there and I chew and chew and chew and chew, that lights up the pleasure centers of my brain just from eating. Which is no surprise. Eating is very, very pleasurable for many of us. So here's what I did last night. So I had my little Dairy Queen incident, and last night this worked so well. I had already had my dinner, and I had a good dinner too. I made myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So good. Mom, remember we talked about this. I told Charlie I made a bunch of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for my kids because it was one of those kind of nights. Charlie said, I don't want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He looked in the refrigerator. He said, can I have this? I said, no, that's Thomas's leftovers. Can I have this? No, you can't have that. That's old. Can I have this? I said, Charlie, how about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? He was like, okay, I think I'll have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Anyways, my point is, that's what we were down to last night. So I made the kids a bunch of sandwiches and pears and milk. It was yummy. And then I made myself one with Ezekiel bread, natural peanut butter, and frozen cherries that I heated in the microwave. So I made such a delicious peanut butter and fruit sandwich. So it was like the chunkiest jam ever. I took a bunch of cherry berry blend and put it in the microwave for a long time, and then put it on 2 pieces of that Ezekiel bread with some natural peanut butter. Anyways, I had a really, really good dinner. That, and then some hummus and carrots. I don't know, it was random, but delicious. But by the time I was with Franklin, he was making that popcorn. I was like, I want popcorn. So instead I had cauliflower. And cauliflower is gonna be my new popcorn. We don't break habits, we replace them. I'm gonna replace, sometimes I want dense calories, I can tell. Like when I'm not feeling well, when it's really, really cold out, I can tell my body's like, give me calories. I don't care if it's like this big, just give me just 1 stick of butter. That's all I'm asking for, just calories. But other times, my body and my brain, for whatever reason, is like, I want bulk. I'm hungry, my stomach feels empty. So that's when I grab one of these. Diced cauliflower, and let's see. No, oh, I did. I left myself, there's some leftovers. Trust me. And then I put one of those, I poured some of this on top. Those Madras lentils. And then a little nutritional yeast. So while Franklin was having Tackle 'em Texas popcorn, I had some stick to my goal cauliflower. My goal of maintaining this fast that I'm just really enjoying. feel good. I feel free. I feel released. And it's like when someone's been held back and then the strings are finally clipped. Like a slingshot, I can propel forward, which is what I am gonna do now. I'm gonna take off out of here with the rest of my breakfast. Frozen pineapple that I put in the microwave for a little bit and some pecans. I'll put cinnamon on top of this also. I also had a Ezekiel bread sandwich just now with 2 eggs, 2 pieces of sausage, and some avocado. So delicious, so satiating, and I'm so happy to report the fast is going well. But again, this is not a total summary. This is day 9. So I don't want to get overly confident or even dip into, I'm going to stay humble. I'll just put it like that. And I'm going to take this 40 days, one day at a time. And like I've said a couple times lately, if I need to, I will live the rest of my life 40 days at a time. It's going well. That's my report. I love you dearly. I'm out the door. Let's talk again soon. Bye. I'm here. I'm so excited. P.S. I wanted to mention something about this 40-day fast. And I wanted to show you a ring that I've been wearing as a reminder that I'm doing this 40-day fast, because a lot of what we do is very simply just out of habit. For whatever reason we have, excuse me, my nose itches. For whatever reason we have created automaticity in particular areas of our lives. And sometimes we've automated things that we don't want automated. Ultimately, that just means we want to swap some bad habits for some good habits, which takes retraining our brain. And we got to be awake and aware. It's like my mother-in-law who quit smoking, but she still took the same route home every day. And one day she found herself holding a pack of cigarettes that she did not mean to purchase. Have you ever gotten somewhere and you don't remember taking that turn or coming to that stoplight or looking over your shoulder to make sure there wasn't traffic? You just found yourself there. You don't even remember getting there because you've done it so many times. You're on autopilot. She was holding a pack of cigarettes that she did not even mean to buy because she pulled up to the same gas station, the same window, I'm sure talked to the same person, handed them the exact same amount of money to get the same pack of cigarettes that she had gotten hundreds of times before. If we truly want to change our behavior, we have to be awake and aware of what we're doing. So from the very beginning, I thought I'd show you this, and I meant to earlier. I put this ring on my finger, on my first finger on my left hand, because I don't normally wear a ring on that finger. So I want it to feel kind of uncomfortable where I'll notice it. This tiny little knot. Just to remind me that I'm doing this fast. I would be, I hate to say bummed out or disappointed, but I'd be unpleasantly surprised if I consumed one of the 16 things that I'm aiming not to accidentally. And that is an absolute possibility because, like I said, so much of what we do is just out of habit. That's why I say in my video called Staying Science-Minded, there's several reasons we binge, or several reasons I used to rebel against a program or against God himself, because I'm hungry, to cope with life, maybe because of hormones, but sometimes just out of habit, without really even meaning to, because it had just become the way I operated. that's it. Just wanted to show you that ring that I wear to literally remind myself that I am doing this fast. I love you guys. I'm headed into the YMCA. Oh my goodness. Here I go. Bye.